Today is the 26th of November, 2015. This is the first of several recordings that I hope to do. I'm 36 years old. I currently work as a sort of consultant, but in reality what I am is just some guy that does things, supposedly performance testing, but I haven't started yet. I'm supposed to work on performance projects, things like that. I am not exactly happy with my station in life. I just finished about a month and a half ago. I was working for HP for the last 8 years. Started in 2007 and just ended in 2015. So yeah, it's a lot of time. A lot of things happen in between. I am a quiet and shy person. Something that's always been sort of a difficult thing to handle. Because, sorry, that's my mom downstairs. I live on top of this little flat. And as I was saying, like the last, my entire life, it's been difficult for me to deal with people because I am considered what would be an avoidant person. I have Avoidant Personality Disorder. Something that it's a good thing to know that you have something so you understand the concept and you try to wrap your head around it. The only problem is sometimes you feel like you might be defined by it. Sort of like you wish you never knew because that now you're sort of like putting that label on yourself. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've matured slowly. I'm currently a computer scientist, but I've never programmed anything. In HP, I was a software engineer, and then I became a product engineer, which is more related in the field of industrial engineering. And I honestly don't know if these things made me happy. I know one thing that probably would make me happy. Sorry, like this thing just keeps bouncing up and down. I know that one thing would probably make me happy, which would be to feel important in my job. The reason I moved from software engineer to product engineer was so I could actually find a new challenge, but not specifically the new challenge, but more to be developed into something else and to be successful in it. There's this guy that I used to know a while back, and we were both in software engineering, and he became quite successful. I didn't realize it at the moment, but he was actually finishing a master's in project management. This was way back when, like maybe 2009, 2010. It's been 5 years since then. I sort of tried to follow in his footsteps and do something similar, but it's never quite worked out for me. I never really been able to actually pull that off. Even now, I'm currently taking some sort of degree in project management. Before that, I was taking another degree in computer management, like computer lab management. It's some weird thing like that, which I have not finished. I just left it in the middle of the road. So right now in my station in life, I decided to quit HP and find another job because when I was being a product engineer, there's normally performance evaluation reviews at the end of the year, and I got a really bad one. And I challenged it because I didn't agree with it, and pretty much they told me that, too bad, this is what it is, and if you don't like it, we're not going to change it. You can challenge it all you want. And I'm not good for fighting. Part of being an avoidant is that you avoid. I don't like conflicts, and so I pretty much said, you know what, if you don't want me here, I'll quit. Which you might think that that was like the easy thing to do, but I've been working there for 8 years, realizing that maybe things were never going to be an improvement for me, because I was always sold on the idea that you would be able to progress and that you would be developed into something else, and that never quite panned out. I was always overlooked, and that's mainly because I'm a shy person in a mostly extroverted country. I concentrate on trying to do the job the best that I can, and part of the problem is that I screw up a lot as well. I'm so worried about not doing things right that I tend to do them wrong. I've learned a lot during the last 8 years in HP, and prior to that, tech support at a call center called Alienware. It's been interesting. Yeah, I think I've said that before. Right now, the one thing that's great in my life is that I have this amazing girlfriend that I wouldn't have ever expected for me to have. Prior to that, I had a very beautiful girlfriend as well, but things didn't work out, and it devastated me. But now I came back, I'm doing better on that end, sort of. There's always things that are not perfect and things that are not right. That's sort of like the thing that I learned about this Avoidant Personality Disorder, is that it's always there. There are things that you can practice, sort of like giving speeches and standing in front of a crowd. Even if you're afraid of it, it'll eventually, you'll get used to it. It doesn't mean you're going to be good at it. You'll just get used to it. But if you stop doing it for some time, it sort of like grows back, that fear. It happens with everything. If you don't practice, then you'll eventually get rusty. It doesn't mean that you forgot how to do it. It just means that you have to try again and again and again in order to be able to get as good as you once were when you were practicing a lot. So I've learned some things. But right now I know I'm not happy with what I have, even though I should probably be quite grateful. The people that I work with are interesting, to say the least, but I've never felt like I've ever belonged anywhere. That's the fridge. I don't feel like I've ever belonged anywhere, in any job. The good thing about HP is that I met some amazing people. That's the only thing that I can say, is that it validated one thing about me, is that even though I am this way, there are people you can meet who will really like you for who you are. I've met two. I've met two really great friends that I keep in my heart, that they helped me through a lot. One unfortunately left. The other one, well, unfortunately we didn't really work directly side by side, but I saw her every once in a while. I've been betrayed in many ways, but I guess it's because I have such high standards for people that I just see it that way. You have to learn to be forgiving. Just feels like always that people are trying to take advantage of me. It's difficult. I don't know. What do I want is what I'm trying to define right now in my life. When I see other people, I think that's what I want. I want to be them. Like that guy that I was mentioning, he's building his own house. He's very successful in the project management field. That guy lost his mom, though. That must have been so hard, and he pushed forward. I'm pretty sure he had help, but my point is that that happened, and he pushed forward. So I'm trying to push forward myself. I'm 36, and it sometimes feels as though things have passed me by quickly, and that people don't hire you once you've passed the age of 35, 30. Who knows? It sounds like I'm disheartened, but I have to try. I gotta keep trying, because that's all I can ever do is just keep going. I don't stop. And that's sort of like the thing about my life, is that sometimes I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I just keep walking and keep walking. Sort of scared about where I'm going and not sure about what I'm doing, but I just keep going. Sometimes I'm just really scared. I mean, I was going to move out on my own, but I never did it. And it's because I have this deep fear of being so alone because I can't make friends. Being so utterly alone because I just can't. I can't relate to everybody around me, to the people that are around. I mean, I've lived in this neighborhood for so long, I've never met my neighbors. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they do. I don't know anything about them. I don't even know my parents that well. Although I try to change that, it's just a difficult thing to do. I have to say, though, all I can do is keep trying. All I can do is just keep trying. Yeah. So, well, I would like to describe the day a little bit. Today, I got up early in the morning. It's a Thursday. This is something funny though. On Sunday, I came back from the beach and quite tired. On Monday, I was placed in a weird situation where I had to run a test that I didn't really have to. That I wasn't really involved in, so I had to do a lot of things that I had no idea what was going on, but I did it. And then at night, I had to go get my car because when I went to the beach with my girlfriend and my family, I needed to. We used my girlfriend's mom's car, so I went. I drove. I had to leave my car at her house, and when I went to get it, the car wouldn't start. It was a weird thing because I had gone to the gym at night and I was like all sweaty, and man, this place is cold. So when I got in, I just saw that wasn't turning on, and I was disheartened. But even though I was disheartened, I kept doing things. I mean, I tried turning the car on. I tried things. I did my best. I mean, I did what I could to turn that thing on. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing it right because I actually followed an instructional video I found on YouTube, and it turned out to be crap. It said like you had to put the positive and the negative on the good battery, and the positive only, and the negative to ground on the car, which meant like putting it in some sort of weird thing. An exposed metal part, and I wasn't able to pull it off. So then I tried calling like roadside assistance, but unfortunately I haven't paid my insurance because that's something I never do. I wasn't able to get anything. I tried looking for 24-hour garages, and there weren't any around. So I thought, like, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll ask for help. So I called my dad, and he showed up. It was really late. I had to pretty much tell and he wasn't like, he did not know how to get there. So I told him, I had to convince him as well because he didn't want to go. It's not that he didn't want to go, it's just he didn't feel like going because sometimes you call people, I think he was already asleep. Anyway, so I said, like, I'll send my little brother the GPS coordinates. He'll get here. I had to wait for a while. They eventually got here. My dad just grabbed the battery. Positive on the good car, positive on the bad car, negative on the good car, negative on the bad car. Turned it on, and sure enough, car turned on. It's still working down there with the battery-wise. A lot of things kind of happened that day as well. Like I dropped the plate. Actually, I don't even remember it that well. On Tuesday, though, like I had to go to work. Like every Tuesday, we have to go to work. And I drove someone. I'm glad I was able to help her out. But because I drove her, she was working on a project. And normally we have to stay until 4:30. Like we go there around 10 and then arrive at... we have to stay like the entire workday, supposedly. The only problem is staying there. You stay there so late. Oh my God, it's like... I had nothing to do. It was mind-numbingly boring. And I have a test like on the other day. Oh, that's the one thing I did on Monday as well. As soon as I came back from the thing with the car, I had to do a project for Wednesday for that project management class that I was mentioning. And it took forever, man. And I did it wrong. I will get to that part later on, but once I finished that, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up next day. I had to go to do that thing. I had to go to work, and then I could have left, but I couldn't because this girl was working on a project. I wasn't doing anything, but since I drove her, she had to stay. That meant I had to stay, and stayed for a while. I pretty much felt like my whole life was just numbingly bored. That day was eternal. So I left, and then I went to the gym. I don't think anything else much happened after that. That was Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I spent all day studying. And all day studying. Yeah, that's what I did. I just spent all day studying. But some things happened as well. Like I dropped Coke on my computer, which sucked. Oh, these guys, I was replacing my internet. So because the internet that I had before always had problems with connecting new wireless devices, and sometimes it would just leave. So I decided, okay, enough with that. I'm going to bring in a new ISP, and they had to come over. Apparently they screwed up the order, and they said like they couldn't do what I wanted, which was I also needed to put an HD television. And they said, no, we can't do it. So I said, you know what? You guys leave. I'm not signing anything. Take off. Man, I was frustrated, and I still had to study. But eventually, they came back and said, we can do what you want. And that's the good thing when, people want to sell. They'll try it. That's cable companies, I don't know. They want the bottom line to increase. So they were able to install the things that I wanted. And, so I then dropped Coke on my computer, which sucked. And then at night I had to do the presentation. Painful. I had to do the presentation, and the part that I did, it was bad. I don't know why. I just sort of realized that, I didn't realize it. It was while we were okay. One other thing. There was a raffle. There were 5 groups that had to do a presentation, and a while back, something exactly like that happened. It was the It was a teacher that we had a previous class with, and before he said, okay, I only need 2 groups to present. We'll do a raffle. Whoever wins gets to present. I went and picked a paper that time, and I won, so we had to present, which it's in those cases where you win, in reality you lose. So this time around, I said, I'm not doing it, and apparently nobody went and did it, so I ended up going again myself, and guess what? It happened again, and everybody was just insulting me in some way or another, but just sarcastically, right? I didn't have to take it personally. But it's just like little, like people are just poking at me. I don't like it. I then realized as well that I didn't make it to the previous class, and there was a quiz, and I had to redo it. It had pain in my ass. Plus the test. And I felt like all the shit that I learned, that I studied for, didn't help. None of it. It sucked. And then I came back home. And it was a long day that day. So, and now we're in today. And today, I had to go to HP, sign my liquidation papers, which they call like the thing where they will give you your last salary you owe, vacation days they owe you, everything got paid. It's like $6,000. Not much. Actually, a lot less than that. It's like $5,000. Like $5,000. And I need that money because I'm broke. Returned the modem, and then I went to the gym, and then I realized that apparently during this entire time I was driving with a flat tire. Right now that car's downstairs with a flat tire, so tomorrow I gotta go change that damn tire. I also spent most of today cleaning this place up. You can't see it, but it's nice now. So that was the day. It was a very beautiful day. And I was able to achieve most of the things that I wanted. Not in all of them. I guess that's, in the end, what matters, is that I'm still alive. My parents are still here. We're still fighting the fight. Every day, you struggle. Jesus. Every day you struggle. Some people struggle more than others. And some people just have better attitudes about it. I'm trying to improve. I'll keep fighting.